This is what happened to the men who crucified Jesus. They thought they were in control, but they could not escape the consequences. If you are a Christian, you need to know this. Many were involved in Jesus' condemnation, but two names were behind everything from the beginning: Annas and Caiaphas. They thought they had absolute control over the situation, but they could not escape the consequences of their choices. At that time, Judea was governed by Rome, but the center of religious and cultural power for the Jews was the Temple of Jerusalem, and whoever controlled that temple had influence over all the people. The high priest was the highest authority. Annas was appointed high priest in the year 6, but even after being deposed in the year 15, he continued to manipulate everything behind the scenes through his family. His son-in-law, Joseph Caiaphas, took over the position in the year 18 and remained in power until 36 AD. It was precisely during this period that Jesus' ministry took place. But as Jesus gained followers and exposed the hypocrisy of the religious leaders, he became the greatest threat to their power. So they made a cruel decision. Jesus needed to be eliminated at any cost. The proof is in the Gospel of John, chapter 11, verses 49 and 50, when Caiaphas declared, "You do not know anything. Do you not realize that it is better for you that one man die for the people than that the whole nation perish?" With a cold stare and a firm voice, Caiaphas sentenced, "Jesus must die." Little did he know that this decision would seal his own fate. From that moment on, the diabolical plan began to unfold. They bought Judas Iscariot to betray Jesus. They manipulated the Sanhedrin to condemn him without evidence. And when Jesus was taken to Pilate, they twisted the facts to convince the Romans to crucify him. But Pilate hesitated. He knew Jesus was innocent. As a last attempt, he offered the people a choice between releasing Jesus or Barabbas, a feared criminal. It was the chance to save Jesus. But the religious leaders had already committed another cruelty. They corrupted the crowd, making them choose Barabbas and shout for Jesus' death. Jesus was condemned and crucified. But the story did not end there. Even after Jesus' death, Annas and Caiaphas continued to persecute his disciples. In the book of Acts, chapter 4, they tried to silence Peter and John, forbidding them from preaching about the resurrection. But the truth was already spreading and nothing could stop it. Now the most shocking part, what was their fate? Caiaphas was deposed from office in 36 AD and shortly after fell into the hands of the Romans. He was cruelly executed, paying with blood for the price of his actions. Annas, on the other hand, suffered an even more terrifying fate. Consumed by guilt, his mind collapsed. In his last years, it is said that he went insane, banging his head against the walls, unable to bear the weight of having condemned the very Son of God. They thought that by eliminating Jesus, they would put an end to his movement. But the opposite happened. Today, more than 2,000 years later, billions of people around the world wait with faith for the return of the one who was crucified but conquered death. If you believe in the return of Jesus, write in the